Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I want to talk about the 3 biggest red flags that the covert narcissist has another supply. And you need to be aware of these red flags because so many people, they don't recognize them. And then later on, the narcissist discards them, or they end up discarding the narcissist, and they didn't even know what happened. They thought everything was great in the relationship, and they totally get blindsided, and they get discarded by the narcissist, or they start to feel that the narcissist is distant with them, doesn't want to be around them, doesn't care, and they end up having to discard the narcissist themselves. So, you guys, I'm going to lay it down in this podcast for 3 big red flags that you need to be aware of, that covert narcissist that you're dealing with has another supply. Okay, number 1, you guys, and this is a big one, okay? When you're dealing with a covert narcissist and all of a sudden you start to see they're changing, okay? Maybe they're starting to dress a little differently. Maybe they're taking interest in going to the gym when they never had an interest in, working out or taking care of themselves. Maybe they're starting to wear cologne all the time, okay? That is one thing that a lot of narcissists do, is they wear cologne in order to attract supply, cologne or perfume, depending on if you're dealing with a male or a female covert narcissist, right? Now, don't take this the wrong way, because I've had a couple of trolls say to me when I did a post about the cologne and perfume, say, well, I wear cologne and perfume and I'm not a narcissist. We're not talking about you, okay? We're talking about the covert narcissist who's trying to attract supply. So, you guys, one of the red flags that you're going to find that the covert narcissist you're dealing with has another supply, or is very interested in another supply, or could be talking to another supply, is that they change how they dress, they change how they look. Some of them even change how they talk. They may be talking, better. For instance, maybe you had a covert narcissist that used profanity all the time, and now all of a sudden they're speaking very eloquently, and they're trying to act polished and refined. Maybe you had a covert narcissist that wasn't into golf, and now all of a sudden they're into golf. Maybe you had a covert narcissist that's, suddenly into this type of music, and they've never liked, let's say, all of a sudden they love rock and roll, and they've always hated rock and roll. Red flag. The narcissist is mirroring the new supply. This is what's going on. They have a new supply that may be into certain things, okay? So what a covert narcissist is going to do is they're going to copy, they're going to mirror the new supply, and they're going to totally transform, because they're chameleons depending on who they're dealing with, and they're going to transform themselves into who that new supply is and what that new supply likes. So now you're dealing with the covert narcissist, and you're starting to see this transformation of this person, dressing a different way, smelling a different way, acting a different way. And you're saying, why all of a sudden are they acting like this? Why all of a sudden are they dressing like this? Why are they into this? They were never into that. See, a covert narcissist is not going to tell you what's going on. They're all about secrets. They're not going to show their hand, but you will see it in their behaviors and their actions that they're changing. They're different, okay? So one of the big red flags, you guys, be aware of this, is all of a sudden they change up, and they're trying to transform themselves into a different person. See, covert narcissists don't have a true authentic self. They've always got a mirror. They always got a copy. They copy people. It's like the influencer that copies me. He's not a real narc abuse victim, but he's got to copy a victim to try to come off and pretend that he is that to his audience, so that people trust him, people sympathize with him, and people spend their money on his program, okay? So it's like the same thing. The covert narcissist is going to transform them into who that new supply is, or who that person is that they want to get in order to get the benefits of that new supply. And you'll see it by the change in dress, change in behavior, and how they treat you, okay? This is one of the biggest things. So, big red flag number 2 that the covert narcissist you're dealing with has another supply is that they're cold. They're unaffectionate. They fight with you all the time. Why? Because they really don't want to be with you. They've gotten to a point where they're disgusted. You're not making them happy. Nobody's going to make that narcissist happy, but in the narcissist twisted, distorted mind, they think the new supply is, the grass is greener, and that person or that supply they have to offer them is going to make them happy. So when they know that they got something in the wings, you guys, that's when they're going to be a little cold, indifferent, unaffectionate to you. Why? Because they don't need you anymore, okay? They don't need you anymore. You're dealing with a user. So they're going to, you might see the red flag number 2, okay? First was the change in their dressing, their behaviors. Red flag number 2 is that they're going to change in how they act with you. That's when they switch up in the relationship, okay? Now, people don't recognize this. They get involved with a narcissist and they're still trying to get that narcissist who they met in the beginning, the loving, caring, affectionate, the narcissist that gave them plenty of attention, the narcissist who said they were going to be their hero, the narcissist that gave them that fake sense of security and safety, the narcissist that showed them the fake humility. Well, guess what? That's not really who they are, okay? So you'll see it when they don't need you, and now they're interested or they have another supply in the wings, you guys. Now they're independent. So they're going to be cold, inaffectionate to you. They're going to start fights with you. A lot of times, to see the other supply, they fight with you over something trivial. They may fight with you over a spoon in the sink. They may fight with you for something very small that you might have laughed, and they didn't like the fact that you laughed at a certain point. They may fight with you because you left the TV on. They'll fight over anything small to go out and see that other supply. Also, you guys, you got to remember something else. Another thing you got to be aware of too, okay? Another thing is that it can go the other way too. And I've seen this, all right? I've seen all this, but I've seen this. What happens is when a covert narcissist has another supply in the wings, not only can they be cold and unaffectionate to you and fight with you, but then the other side is that some of them can actually be really nice to you, and all of a sudden you're seeing they're being super nice to you. They go out, they buy you something, and let's say they're super cheap. They don't spend 2 nickels for anything, and yet they're going out and they're spending money on you or something out of the blue. It's not a holiday. It's not a birthday. And they say, I just wanted to do this, Why is that covert narcissist doing that? Because they're feeling guilty for what they're doing behind your back, all right? So in order to alleviate that guilty feeling, they might do something nice. They may show up, bring you flowers. They may buy you a gift and say, I saw this. I thought you might like this or something like that. And all of a sudden, they're giving you gifts, okay? And you're saying, they never did this before. Well, it's because the covert narcissist, this isn't normally them. So it's because they have a guilty conscience, because they have another supply that they're lining up or that they're seeing or that they're sleeping with. And, in order to alleviate those feelings, they do something nice for you so that they could feel they're a great guy, a great girl, and that, they're doing something for you and they don't have to feel bad about the toxic behaviors they're doing behind your back, all right? Next, and this is the big one, the third red flag that covert narcissist has another supply. You guys, this is textbook narcissism, is that they ghost you, they disappear on you. There is no excuse for anybody to ghost you or disappear on you in today's day of technology, all right? But what they do is they ghost you, they disappear, and they come back with a bullshit excuse. They tell you, I was really going through something. I needed some time alone, okay? But they can't text you and tell you that. Why can't they text you? Because that's not really what they want. They're with another supply, but they're trying to give you a bullshit excuse. I just needed time alone. I just needed time alone. Well, you know what, you guys? That is mad disrespect for somebody that you're dealing with or in a relationship with to suddenly disappear on you, okay? Never, ever, ever, ever tolerate that, okay? That person has no regard for you if they disappear on you. People can be very busy. People could have high-powered jobs and have meetings all day long and be with clients, but if they really care about their partner, they keep them in the loop. And what does that mean? That means they may give them a text. I'm walking into this meeting. I'll give you a buzz when I get out, all right? Or I'm doing this. They make their partner feel safe, secure, because they care about the relationship and they would never do anything of jeopardizing losing that relationship. That's when you're in a healthy relationship, mind you. But when you're dealing with a slimy, snaky, covert narcissist who doesn't need you, they got this other supply on the side, all right? What they're going to do is they're just going to ghost you and come back with a BS excuse. And then when you call them out on it, they're going to say that you're controlling them, you're tracking them, that you don't give them your space, that you're insecure, that you have trust issues. And all of this is to gaslight you and confuse you and make you think that you are this emotional nut that doesn't give them their space, okay? It's all to mind fuck you, okay? Because a normal relationship, you don't just disappear, okay? And, ghosting is a huge, it's a huge red flag. You're dealing with somebody who's playing game on you, okay? Playing game on you. I've seen this where these narcissists can love bomb you. Like they'll be on the phone with you all week long, have you on the phone for hours. And then come the weekend, guess what? They ghost you. They waste your time because they're bored at their jobs and they're calling and texting you all day long during the week when they don't have anything going on. And then when the weekend comes, guess what? They're with their main supply or their main supplies, okay? Because a narcissist never just deals with one. But guess what? They don't contact you all weekend. And then they tell you something like, oh, I had to help my mother out this weekend. Or my mother was in the ER. I couldn't call you. There's no Wi-Fi there, okay? They love these BS excuses. Or they say, I had to do a funeral. I had to go on a funeral on a Sunday or something like that. They come out with the most outlandish excuses that you can't say anything because you don't know for sure, okay? But you guys, there is no excuse. I don't give a shit. Even if somebody had to go to the hospital, you could walk right outside the ER, and I've done it many times, going to the hospital in and out with my kid. You can walk right outside the ER and text somebody and say, listen, I had a situation here. This is what's going on, blah, 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 blah. I'll get back to you at such and such a time. But when a narcissist completely ghosts, completely disappears on you, they don't give a shit about you. And that's somebody that you get rid of, okay? That huge red flag. This person is playing game. They're out with other supply, or they're still in a relationship with somebody else and they're telling you that they're single, all right? This is how they fool you. You're thinking you're in this relationship with this narcissist, and the truth is they're in a relationship with somebody else. And you're like the side chick or side guy, and you don't even know it. You're thinking like you're in a relationship with this person and they're in a whole other relationship with somebody else, or they could even be married to somebody else. They will, pull any punch out there to get what they want, and they are complete liars. That's why you never, ever, ever trust a narcissist. Once you know you're dealing with a narcissist, the first thing that should come into your brain is, ding, 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 I can't trust this person, okay? So let me recap about the 3 big red flags. A covert narcissist has another supply. They change in their dress. They're looking spiffy. They're, trying to mold this other new supply. They're not who they used to be. They're looking different. They're talking different. They're acting different. Something's up, okay? Trust your gut. Number 2 is that they're cold to you. And here's how they confuse you with the cold and unaffectionate thing. They'll try to blame it on something like, oh, I'm just not feeling good. Oh, I'm just tired. Oh, I just have so much work pressure. So you're sitting there being the empathic, nice partner that you are, saying to yourself, well, maybe they're just, maybe they're really tired from work. Maybe they're going through a lot. You've got to look at what's going on in that narcissist's life at the time. Because understand this, people could be going through something, and you have to take that into account. But if you see this is happening all the time, or you see it just doesn't look right, it's not making sense, then you need to trust your gut that this person is bullshitting you, okay? You're dealing with a covert narcissist that's giving you a lame excuse to confuse you, to string you along, to breadcrumb you, and to keep you around till they're ready to discard you or you discard them. Or they could breadcrumb you a long time, you guys. If you're offering some benefit to them, they'll keep you stringing along for a long time, all right? That's why I tell you, your cutoff game's got to be fierce. Fierce, fierce, fierce. Go listen to my older podcast where I laid it down about how your cutoff game needs to be fierce, okay? You need to listen to that. Otherwise, you're going to waste your time, waste your life with these 0 narcissists that their intent is not the same as your intent, that they only got 1 foot in and they got 1 foot out the door. But because you want to believe them or you believe words, you're hanging in there and you're not realizing that you are getting played, okay? So the 3 ways, the 3 biggest red flags that covert narcissist is playing game on you and has another supply is they're changing their behaviors, they're cold, inaffectionate, or they're fighting, or the other side, they're giving you gifts because of that guilty feeling they have for what they're doing behind your back with the other supply. And lastly, the ghosting and the indifference too, you guys. Ooh, I want to bring this last point up because this is crucial. When you start to see that the covert narcissist is indifferent to you, in other words, they couldn't care less whether they see you. They couldn't care less whether they sat near you on the couch. They couldn't care less if they slept with you or they were intimate with you. They couldn't care less. Half the time you're with them, you feel like you're alone because they're on their phones 24/7 when you're in their company because they've got to keep in touch with all their supply. But they gaslight you and tell you, oh, I'm just playing a game on my phone. Yeah, I love 8-ball pool, okay? Or I'm playing the slot machines on my phone or something like that. All right, trust and believe. That's one of the biggest excuses they say is they're playing games on their phone. And meanwhile, you're sitting on that couch and they're texting the other supply, okay? So if they act like indifferent to you or something like that, usually when you see that indifference, that's when you know, boom, 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 that covert narcissist has checked out. They got something else going on, but they're not going to be, honest with you and transparent because they're not honest and transparent people. They're going to string you along for whatever benefit you have to offer them. So that indifference should be your red flag. I need to get rid of this 0. They are doing nothing for me. They are just there in body only. They're not into me. They're not into the relationship. And when you deal with somebody who's not into you or into the relationship, the first thing that should come to your brain is they're with me for something, okay? And it's up to you to figure out what it is they're after. They could be with you for a place to stay. They could be with you for money. They want you to invest money in a business with them. They could be with you for sex. They could be with you just because they're bored and they need something to do in between their other supplies. They could be with you because you're a mommy, a therapist to them, mommy, daddy, okay, that they love to come to you for advice, all right? So, you guys, when you see that indifference, you know they checked out, and that's when you need to check the fuck out and get away from this person because they're not being honest with you and transparent with you, and you need to say to yourself, nah, not today, Satan. You're not all into this relationship. It's time for me to make feet and find somebody who's a real one, okay? So I hope that helps you guys. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. Have a great day. And I'm sure whatever I said in this podcast will be copied by the copycat. So just remember, you guys, where you heard it here first, okay? Love you guys. Have a great day. Don't forget, share the podcast. Don't forget, follow me on YouTube. I'm putting everything on YouTube at the Game Exposed Podcast. Facebook and Instagram is the Game EXP123. TikTok is the Game Exposed. If you're looking for one-on-one confidential phone coaching, you can go to the link in the bio for my website at Ask Yaz, okay? And it'll give you information how to do that, one-on-one phone coaching. Like if you're confused how to deal with this narcissist, you have a covert narcissist or malignant narcissist and you don't know how to handle them, or you're not sure if they are a narcissist and you're just, you need some clarity, check out my one-on-one phone coaching with the link to my website in, the podcast or, channel, bio. It's there. Ask Yaz, okay? And have a great day, you guys.